Rylee needs those Skittles. Don't take off with those. She's low. Give me a bite of that. Ready? Hold on. I'm going to take a big piece.
Wait, I want, like, give me a square.
When I was diagnosed, I was 4 years old.
I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old. When Jessy was diagnosed with type 1, I was really confused. I didn't really understand what was going on, but I knew that I would help her in any way I could.
2 teenagers with diabetes.
We're lucky that they're fairly responsible. They're not a whole lot different than our other teenagers. They ups and downs.
Living with type 1 diabetes is hard.
It feels like I've been living with it forever. I don't really remember not having it, especially because Jessy was diagnosed first. I always remember counting and like weighing my food.
It's hard to be a teenager, and then you throw on an insulin pump and constant finger pokes and having to eat and all these things that teenage girls shouldn't have the pressure of having to do.
Living with diabetes is like living my life, I guess, because it is my life. My biggest challenge with living with type 1 diabetes would be that sometimes I feel like it defines me as a person.
The biggest challenge of having 2 children with type 1 diabetes is remembering that they're 2 different children.
As I coach them, I sometimes forget one is completely different than the other one. So how I would react to, say, Rylee when she was playing ringette, being low, or if she was high, would be different than Jessy. Like, Jessy's personality is just give me some Skittles or some apple juice and I'm ready to go, right?
And then Rylee's more conscientious.
Very, yeah. She would be, I ain't going anywhere. Like, she would yell at me on the bench, I ain't going out. So it was different. It was hard.
When I was diagnosed, something that really worried me is that now my parents have 2 kids to deal with that are diabetic rather than just one. And we were both young in that we couldn't really do any of it ourselves.
Whenever they're low, I get them a juice box, and I have to tell my parents what their blood sugar is.
My life has changed a lot. It's made me probably more responsible, but I don't know, I can't really remember.
I can't forget about it. It's not something like all my other problems where I can just kind of forget about it for a couple hours. I have to always remember that I'm diabetic.
I wish people would understand that it's not about, like, you don't get it from what you eat. It's not our fault.
Oh, they're eating so much, they're gonna be diabetic. That's not true. That's not what it is.
As a dad, I'm like, okay, I gotta get my little superstar out there to play. And then she's low and she can't play, and you look at the bench and you see her and you know she's just upset and you can't. You want to just go over and hug her or something. She doesn't want that. She's just, get away, like, leave me alone. You know, and you can't go fix her.
A cure to me would mean that
A cure would mean everything. It would help me in so many different ways because this has been my life for so many years, and it would be so different because it would just be gone.
It would just mean freedom. Freedom for them and for their brother.
A cure to me would mean that I could live my life like a normal teenager and not have something to worry about when I already have all this stress from homework.
The freedom, but the ability to sleep in or to go out and be a quote-unquote regular person or a normal person or an average person, letting them just experience what I know and what we know is normal.
If I was free of type 1 diabetes, the first thing I would do is probably go somewhere where I can be like athletic and do a bunch of stuff, and then like hang out with friends and have a pizza party and stuff.
I think I'd take him skydiving, because I've never been, and the anxiety would drive me nuts, and I know Rylee would go screaming low, but it'd be like, you don't have to worry about being low anymore, jump.
Take all of their diabetic supplies and have a really big fire at your parents' farm and burn it all.
I do rely on my teammates because they're reminding me and just having my back, I guess.
Most of my teammates, they'll ask me every time I test, what's your number, are you okay, can you play? Or they'll ask me, can I poke you? And like, they just want to help me out in every way they can.
Jdrf is important to me because it reminds me that people actually care.
People are like working towards it and like trying to help everyone out.
When Jessy was 4 and diagnosed with diabetes, I had a phone call from Barb at Jdrf, and she gave me a mentor from Jdrf, Melanie. That mentor and the other people at Jdrf that I've come to know have been a support system like no other.
Everybody has the same goal, the same outcome, is to get rid of this.